Some say international courts and tribunals, the system of investment protection, and the humanity in general are doomed and will not survive many more generations. But I do believe in the new beginnings. What do we wish to see in the civilization of the future? Whose voice is missing there? Whose do we want to hear? I suggest we remember everything that made us who we are, and then devise a new, better way of living, creating art, society, state, law, and the world in general. What can Ukraine and wider Eastern Europe contribute to the worldwide understanding of law and civilization? The answer is, we can contribute only what represents our essence. We owe it to ourselves and the community to know who we are, to comprehend what has been done wrong, and to remember what has been forgotten, especially what we were made to forget. So what makes Ukraine and wider Eastern European region prominent? We first noticed the clash between the East and the West at all stages of development, and the experience of surviving through both totalitarian regimes almost simultaneously. The clash is painfully obvious. The ever-repeated dichotomy resulted in ever-repeated conflict. What has it made us understand, and what can we give back to the world? The hallmark of Eastern Europe is at least two divergent directions in each major category of life, be it language, religion, myth, tradition, or style. And a painfully familiar dynamic follows: a conflict and three options. First, where the two conflicted concepts coexist without exchange. Second, where comes a new concept derived from the mix of the two. And there is often the third option that decidedly opposes any attempted coexistence. That's how we've got the detailed religious denominations, language dialects, mixed lifestyles, wild mix of education systems and legal regulation loaded with civilizational and political meaning. That's how our people got used to centuries-old traditions replacing each other in a matter of years. They got used to otherwise efficient reforms, providing a result on a scale from unintended to none at all. These are the people whose previous generations got to use their professional skills only upon overcoming grotesque political obstacles, such as camps and persecution, and who nowadays are just not daunted to work with documents drafted in all the languages of their neighboring states. So why EEFI? EEFI seems like your usual moot court. Designed in Ukraine, it recreates the eclectic and divergent nature of the Eastern European region like no other. At EEFI, our take on the past is in EEFI's case studies, set against the backdrop of Eastern European history, from the Baltics in the north to Turkey in the south, from the Balkans in the west and Georgia in the east. Our take on the present is reflected best at the kind of disputes featured: investor-state and interstate, involving commercial matters, art law, intellectual property and sports law. Our take on the future is with an innovative platform for teams ahead of the Oral Rounds Week. As all the best things in life, such as love, trust, and justice, they only exist for us as long as they represent what we believe in innately. Imagine that you can create it all anew, that you are at the dawn of civilization, and you can create these things the way they were supposed to be. What can Ukraine and Eastern Europe contribute to the worldwide understanding of law and civilization? Law, in its essence, reflects our views on what the state and the world should be like, and how we should function as humanity. Some say wider Eastern Europe doesn't have a legal paradigm of its own. The state-making and law was the lot of the ruling empires of the time, and we only borrowed with varying success what was developed by the empires. However, this region has experienced a path so special, a path that opened it up to so many, maybe too many ways of living and thinking. The path allowing the folklore to flourish, but permitting no reality test for state-making or legal thought. Historically, Eastern European lawyers had a chance at success only if they detached themselves from their motherland. The impact of their legacy isn't exclusively ours anymore. The 20th century in Ukraine saw both Volodymyr Koretsky, the founder of the School of International Law, and Hirsch Lauterpacht, who was forced to end his studies in Lviv because of anti-Semitism, and developed his concept of crimes against humanity in Great Britain. In the 19th century, Friedrich Martens from the Baltics could not represent his own state, in foreign delegations because he was appointed on behalf of the Russian Empire with imperial rather than a local mandate. The Balkans still remember the 13th century jurist by the name of Rastko Nemanjić. Now he's perceived on a religious plane way more than on any other. Whatever it is that we know, and whatever more we are going to learn, it is time to share it with the world. No matter where you are, join EEFI and tap into the new way of thinking.